Yeah, my name is Derek Herman. I'm a tropical cyclone hurricane expert for the University of Wisconsin. I work at the Cooperative Institute with these guys right now. I just work on a very different aspect of weather forecasting. But my personal experiences, I've also been an operational tactical Navy warfare forecaster.
Oh, wow.
I have tactical oceanography experience, chasing submarines, chasing ships, planning missiles, all that stuff. And I'm also a storm chaser, so I have some storm chasing experience. So I can speak to you about tornadoes, hurricanes, any question you ever had about maybe forecasting or tornadoes and hurricanes in particular.
Okay. Yeah. That's amazing. This is my thing right here. I've loved storm chasing for a while, and I've only seen about one, but it was a February EF2 tornado.
Oh, wow.
So
February. So that was the first tornado.
Yeah, that was the EF2. Yeah, that was amazing.
And I made this plot, which is like a plot of, when tornadoes occur in Wisconsin. They mostly occur in the summer season, right?
Oh, yeah.
June, July. But when I made the plot initially, there were no plots in February.
Oh, yeah.
Then we had a tornado in
we had two of them.
So that was the last month we've never had a tornado in Wisconsin.
And I'm glad I got to see it. It was amazing.
So these are models, 3D models, printed models of hailstones. This hailstone right here is almost identical to the hailstone that fell earlier this year. And I have a picture of me holding it in my hand, so we have a 3D model of it now. So
that's cool.
Dude, that thing's huge. You hold that.
On the end of the scale, we didn't quite get this all the way printed. It takes a long time to do these.
Oh, yeah.
But you can get the sense of the diameter. This is the Vivian, South Dakota record hailstone.
Wow, that thing is
This is the
huge.
largest hailstone that ever fallen in the United States.
Dang.
You can kind of get a sense for kind of how wide it was. It was very heavy. And the guy, to his credit, saw this hailstone and said, "That seems like unusually large."
Right.
And he saved it, and put it in the freezer. So then they could come and measure it and document it. So it's a very well documented hailstone. Actually, they have a lot of pictures of it. They even have a 3D model of it now. So yeah, that's about how it looks like when you cut it in half.
No, I actually don't.
So hailstones are like ogres.
Really?
Which are like onions, right? They have layers.
Right.
Oh, well.
Onions have layers. Right. So it starts as just like a little frozen drop. And then what happens is that the thunderstorm is warm rising air, right? So it gets thrown up into the top of the atmosphere, and it starts to collect other droplets and snowflakes.
Isn't so high up?
It grows another layer.
Yeah.
But then it gets heavy and it falls back down. But before it can hit the ground, it gets pulled back up. So it makes that trip multiple times, and each time it goes through the thunderstorm, it actually gathers more and more layers. So when you slice through it, it looks like tree rings.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like tree rings.
Cool.
So you can see how many trips it took.
That's neat.
Different layers. I think there's probably an image in here on a slideshow at some point, but actually shows, I think, one of the cross sections.
Okay.
So.
Really?
Interesting. Never thought about that.
Yep. So the other thing I do is hurricanes.
Yes. I love hurricanes too.
Obviously, no hurricane has ever hit Wisconsin.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But they've come really close, actually. There have been a number of storms that have come up out of the Gulf of Mexico.
Right.
When they get to Wisconsin, they're not hurricanes anymore.
Yeah, there's just a storm there.
They still can bring us a lot of rain, and there's some actually famous heavy rain events that have occurred in Wisconsin that were from what were hurricanes at one time. The closest it's ever come is back in 2020. Tropical Depression Cristobal came all the way up to 2 miles. 2 miles from the border. And then the Hurricane Center stopped calling it a tropical depression. We were all kind of cheering it on, like, come on, we can make it. And it didn't quite make it. That would have been the first documented instance of a tropical cyclone hitting Wisconsin, but it didn't quite get there. But it was kind of warm and windy and like rainy. It was kind of,
It's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
It's actually really interesting.
I've been in a number of hurricanes. I've been in hurricanes in the Navy. We've gone through them on ships. I've chased some hurricanes. I was in Hurricane Michael in Florida in 2018. We rate hurricanes on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest.
Yeah.
So Milton just hit Florida.
Yeah.
It was a 5 at one time.
But then it went down to a
It went down
3.
to a 3.
Yes.
But Hurricane Michael was a 5 at landfall in Florida. This is a picture of Hurricane Floyd in 1999. I think the storm was a Category 4 intensity at this point. Yes. So, and then this, just like slicing through a hailstone, if we take a slice through a hurricane, you can kind of see.
Oh, wow. That's actually really cool.
So the hurricane has actually 2 circulations. One circulation is the wind rotating around the storm.
Yeah.
Cyclonically, and so counterclockwise. And then also there's another circulation where air is rising up and out.
Okay.
Isn't that the eye?
Yeah, so some of the air is sinking in the eye. Air is rising above what we call the eye wall. So these are big towers of thunderstorms that go up to 50, 60,000 feet. And the air kind of comes in, rises up in these, and then gets kind of slung out the top in what we call the outflow layer. This is up the top of the atmosphere. And then some of that air does sink down into the eye. In fact, that's what causes the eye to form.
Really?
Is that sinking air sinks down, and as it sinks, it gets drier and drier and drier. It clears all the clouds out. And then we see that clear eye when it takes place. Makes sense.
It's amazing.
Like here's Milton right here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is Cristobal, actually.
Okay.
Coming through southern Wisconsin, bringing us some rain relays. Yeah, back in 2020.
It's amazing.
Any questions?
No, actually, I don't think I have any.
Any questions?
Oh,
Would you like to attend a weather camp?
yeah, maybe actually. I've been trying to get into it.
Definitely.
Definitely.
You can make a trip with us.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Yeah. Okay.
How do you do this? I gotta make an F5 though. I know, but I've never seen one like that.
I actually like this one. Wait, actually, I do have a question. Do you have any advice on storm chasing?
Oh,
To get into
I have lots of advice on storm chasing.
Perfect. Good.
I give an entire course on it. The biggest advice I can give you on storm chasing is don't go alone.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go alone.
That's pretty good.
Go with someone who knows what's going on. So if you want to learn how to do storm chasing, then go with someone who's very experienced because it's very dangerous.
Yes, I agree.
It's especially dangerous in Wisconsin because of it's hard
trees?
to see the tornadoes.
Yes.
The clouds can be low. There's a lot of hills and trees.
Yeah.
The types of tornadoes we get are not like the super.
It's usually you have zeros.
Like planes.
Yeah.
So these types of tornadoes here, it's a very classic kind of tornado. It's very easy to see. You get those more in the plains. These aren't as common in Wisconsin. A lot of the tornadoes we have are wrapped in rain, which makes them very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
So your best chance is to go out into the plains and chase storm chasing.
So I was like, for spring break, can we go to Tornado Alley? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
There are tours that you can pay for to go on.
Oh, well, Mom, looks like I know what I'm doing. Well, too bad.
You know how to mow lawns, things like that.
Yeah.
Start a business. Earn some money in Antarctica, maybe.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, fun year storm chasing. Yeah, that would be my advice. Is do lots of training. Here, I'll give you some.
Meteorological research data centers. We study the weather and climate in Antarctica.
Oh, 2009 Aurora, Nebraska. That's the one where meteor intercepted and his window broke out.
Oh, really?
The Dominator one, yeah.
Nice.
It's based on infrared radiation. So what
Surface
you want to
temperature?
do for each one of these
Surface
is
temperature.
stand right over the square, point it straight down. Make sure you don't have shadow, you don't want any shadow. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Push the button and get the number. And this says like 62 degrees Fahrenheit. So you would do that for each one and write it down.
Okay.
We would do that first. So if you want to try and write down the temperatures, so you can go ahead and use your instruments and take your own measurements.
Now what do you get?
Right.
74.4. These ones too, so you won't believe.
Okay. Try a different color.
I'll do black.
Make sure you get the white and the black. Those will be the most.
92.6 I'm getting now. 92.6. 92.6.
Yep, touch it. See how it feels.
It's not degrees, it's Fahrenheit. Just a little different.
It is a lot hotter, you'll see.
I mean, I know it absorbs it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice and hot.
White one ready? Yeah, check out the white ones. You got 100. Oh, make sure there's not a shadow there.
108.
Your mom's causing trouble.
Breaking the rules.
64.8.
Yeah, so we got about a 40-degree temperature difference across that.
Actually,
Yeah, that's all it is a piece of cardboard painted.
86.8.
72.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wait, which one did I do again?
72.2. 72.2.
Those socks are making me hungry. My solar meter.
Okay.
So use the middle button to turn it on.
Yeah.
And after you turn it on, if you see at the bottom it says BTU, British Thermal Units, we don't want to use that. So the bottom left will push that button, and it's going
Bottom
to say
left?
watts per meter squared. So watts we know from like electric bulb,
Yeah.
energy it gives you. A meter squared is over a distance of like about 1
Yes.
yard by 1 yard.
Yeah.
And then what you would do is we would point it straight up, and you're going to notice it says OL or DL. This is the instrument's complaining it's too bright. I don't want to give you a result. But if I want to override it, I push this R button and it forces it to give a result. You want to make sure it's not at an angle, straight up. And it's telling me that I have about 670 watts per meter squared of solar radiation coming down.
Dang.
Yes. You can write down, this is all about 700 watts per meter squared. This is about the same amount every one of those squares. And then if you want to go ahead and then if you want to and then point it straight down. Straight down.
172 I saw.
Just give it a little bit of time to calm down.
Okay, so that's like nice. You could feel the hotness in this one.
That's cold. Yeah, that one's not as bad. That one's hotter.
Oh, yeah, you can see the what?
That's the key. Like when I was at, I ran a STEM camp in Beloit, and we just walked like a minute between the parking lot, which was maybe 130 degrees surface, and over under like a forested area where it's 80 degrees.
Okay.
50 degree temperature difference. So it can vary a lot between having green spaces versus having the urban heat island.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So
Any
you
questions?
said you did some STEM.
All what you want to do. This is kind of what we're aiming toward. So each one of you guys, why don't you guys grab, are you all three going to do it?
Yeah. I'll do
Yeah.
These two.
I'm gonna do it for sure.
All right, so set up, each
gonna
one
watch
of you gets an aluminum pan, baking pan, and now the most dangerous part is our push pins, so I'm going to give you push pins.
Don't poke anybody.
I'll try my best.
So we got push pins. Yeah, little thumbtacks. The thumbtack through the bottom of the metal pan, and then get your pencil eraser stuck to it, so it's a handle. So
that's
kind of what
cool.
we're aiming for.
So flip it over, yeah.
Put it right through here.
Through the
It
middle.
might be easier to just put this down and just shove it on it.
It's already in.
Yeah.
Okay, then flip it over.
Okay, well there it is. So then go ahead and get your pencil and just stick it on the eraser onto it.
Alright.
So this is our handle. Yeah, it's easier to just do it that way.
Yeah, I think this is a lot easier.
Yeah.
And stick your
Then you
pencil
got a
in.
handle. When it's time to use this later, the only thing we're going to grab is this pencil, because otherwise it messes up the result and doesn't work as well. So we're going to keep that isolated. You guys are going to get, we'll move this out of the way. Did you want to do one?
No, I gotta be the videographer, I guess.
Yep, you're the best.
So you got styrofoam
The camera
plate,
person.
And then we got wool, which is really good for static electricity. And what I'll show you what you need to do is you're going to get your wool.
Listen,
That's
Jamie.
wool. So you're going to push firm on the bottom of this plate, but not enough to crush it. And for probably about 90 seconds, you want to just keep doing it.
Just cleaning.
Yeah, now you guys can do the dishes when we get home, right? You can do this, you can do the dishes.
Yeah, if you can do this, you can certainly.
It's really getting hot.
I'm okay.
Hopefully you're not going to get any lightning with the dishes. What we want to do is get the handle, just grab by the handle and place it right on top of the plate without touching the plate. Alright?
Oh, it feels like a magnet.
Yeah, well, yeah, the static pulls it together. And then what I have is a neon spectrum tube with 2 electrode tips. I'm going to get the metal electrode tip, I'm going to touch it, and I'm going to get a red flash. Did you see the red flash?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
Sometimes you can get, like, see, I got 3 or 4. So go hold in the middle here. Now, be careful, that's glass, so don't drop it. And then touch the tip of the metal.
It's not gonna hurt
There
you
you
or
go, there's your
anything.
flash. It won't hurt you. I will not do anything that's going to hurt you. So there we go. We got 3 lightning flashes. 4? And now why don't you try and see what you got? And you try and see how many lightning flashes. So that's, there's neon gas inside it. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, you got 5. Good job. Good job.
Let's go.
So, yeah, and if you're interested in how it works, just take a look at the sheet here on the sides. It explains the process of
Okay.
how the lightning's generated. But so you're basically imitating how the atmosphere produces a lightning flash. because
That's
of
cool.
electricity.
Actually, really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it works pretty good, and no one got zapped, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I got.
Your hair's not standing up. You're
You can touch
good.
it with your fingers. Sometimes you might feel a little bit of
Yeah.
But this is more, it's lit up, so it's more fun.
Very cool.
All right, let me get the light back on. There we go.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it's because
Yeah,
it's got
that's a lot of
static.
static.
Oh,
Yes. Oops.
it's cool.
Light goes.
It's like when things
Lots of light.
stick together for static, like your clothes stick together. Same
the
thing.
light-
Static.
All right, stay on light. All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, sure. Let me go ahead and grab this.
Oh my gosh, it feels like it's like
Yeah,
connecting,
it
right?
feels like it's magnetically stuck, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's
cool.
That's actually really cool.
That's pretty powerful magnetic pull, huh?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the handouts over by the
Oh,
door there.
Thank you.
Take a picture of this.
How's everyone doing? Good.
Same.
Oh, folks, we can definitely do that. Let me get it set up. So, just let you know, after we're done, the instructions on how it works is written on the side here. If you want, I'm going to shut the light. If you want, you're welcome to work inside here. It's a little bit of a darker piece. I will shut the light.
Hello.
Even check out the weather station. Get any info about it inside? No.
Not really.
Okay. Well, so this is a Wisconsin weather station. Okay. And this is Wisconsin has been around for about a year and a half. It's a project to expand these different weather stations across the state of Wisconsin. Okay. We do have some older stations that have been around for about 3 decades. But the idea now is just to expand every county coverage. Okay. Plus some. So currently we're at 53. Starting last year at about 14. Okay.
Jefferson.
Wow. Yeah, by the end of
Waukesha.
next year, the idea is to get to 90 stations. Okay. So we have 20 measurements that we get with each of these. We have a handful of those sensors that we got there. So we've got wind speed and wind direction. Yep. At the very top.
That's the wind. That's the direction.
The shadow of this big building is not like
Cool.
but most of our sites, all of our sites are very open.
Okay.
And from usually like people's edge of fields, pastures, lands. That tends to be where they get sighted. Wind speed, this is temperature, humidity inside of here. Radiation shield prevents sunlight. Okay. This measures sunlight in watts per meter squared. And then leaf, which is our leaf wetness sensor. Basically just tells you whether there's dew on the leaves or not. So, and then we also have soil sensors to the ground. Soil moisture and soil temperature down to the meter down. So about 3 feet. So, yeah. A lot of those devices are really helpful for agricultural purposes, but we have them sited everywhere. From airports to prairies to people with big backyards. We've got a couple like that. I don't think our yard's big enough, Jackson. Too many houses.
We'll put in front.
Field. Maybe someday. Yeah, but
Maybe when you live in the country.
so this is where they are so far. Even this map is a little outdated. We've gone like crazy the past few weeks. Okay. So that's awesome. Yeah, no, it's been gotten super organized since the WisconNet has been around in the past year and a half. Making sure all of the data and equipment is consistent across site, so it's a good quality data. It's all like live and accessible to whoever on our website. The website. Okay. So cool. wisconnet.wis.edu. Okay. You can see a station map where all the stations are, live data as well as archive data. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So we could look at that live.
It's cool.
To see
I've never been here before. So.
Am I supposed to?
We've learned about this many times. This time you're going to learn about something new.
I'll get a picture and a video if we get them to see it.
But in the end, we got it.
Yeah, go to my daughter's school, right?
Yeah, I'm in 8th grade. I'm about to go to high school.
Time to shine right here.
Oh, yeah. This is the 3rd time. Actually, wait, no.
Kind of a stalker a little.
No.
I don't think we've got like a distance set up that like we have to be away from each other yet.
Not yet. Soon. So, I have a question. I have, by saying chase some NATOs, I was wondering if you could say that. It's like saying, I really want you to say it.
Let's cover the patch up.
Yeah, let's cover the patch. Yes! You said it.
All the way here just for that.
Yes. Thank you.
That's what really helps. Like just swirl it around. It creates a tornado. Like that.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that one. That's sick.
This is
That's a
good
nice-
old-fashioned free entertainment, right?
Right?
Oh yeah, look at that one.
Old school too.
That's a nice,
You,
nice stove.
If you really want to get carried away with it, you can recreate this at home. You can put some food coloring in there,
Yep.
some Legos, some houses.
Some glitter?
Yeah, get really carried away with it.
I have not.
I don't think we have.
Alright, well we're gonna have an educational moment here.
Yes, fine.
So
Finally.
this is supposed to simulate a flood situation. So what we've got here, this is a marsh or swampland where there's a lot of water. So this is we call it's the rainmaker. So you pour a lot of water in here,
Oh yeah.
and you can see the rain comes down into the marsh. And when you get a bunch of water, it fills up your
Yeah.
river system here.
Yeah.
So, a couple different variations here. So, say that you've got a retention pond. So, the reason they put these in subdivisions when they're building them is to help slow down the release of the water.
Just an old kind of walk out, something like this.
Oh yeah, in neighborhoods.
this is like all the
in
time.
every neighborhood, yeah.
So, you get the same thunderstorm.
Mom, it's just Chapman Plaza, my
I know.
last name.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So, you see how this fills up the pond, but now it's just like a trickle
Right?
Yeah.
of the water, and you're not getting the flooding. The water's not getting into these other areas here.
Yeah.
So then, another thing that we have, especially here in Madison, is a lot of concrete. So
Yep.
concrete doesn't absorb the water,
Right.
and when you get a bunch of that, like in Milwaukee too, you get that same thunderstorm,
And it's really bad.
and then it just all runs off
Yep.
and causes flooding really quickly.
Oh yeah.
So this is why when we've got thunderstorms that sit over a city, we're a little bit quicker to issue a flash flood warning
That makes
than
sense.
sometimes out in rural areas.
Right.
That makes sense.
Corn cropland can kind of absorb it a little bit better if you have, things like retention ponds, things like that. That helps to kind of slow things down.
Yeah, that makes
The
sense.
flooding.
It's amazing. Thank you.
Science.
I love science. What is this supposed to be like? What is this supposed to like
It's our tornado
represent?
machine.
Oh, you can see a little. You see a little. I can't think of the word for it.
So we have a mister in here, and then there's a fan that's pulling it up. So it's like an updraft for like a real tornado. It's pulling up, and sometimes if you cover this up a little bit, it shows up a little bit better for a little bit.
You can see it rotating too.
So it just works like that. So you can
Wow.
you can stick your hand in there, and you can cut off the circulation. There's little pipes in here too that are supposed to be blowing the water around. But
Cool.
That's actually really cool.
we can't take this out a whole lot because it's so finicky with the wind, or if there's outside or anything like that. Like it doesn't work too well.
Do they go through EF5 or something?
Tornadoes, yeah, that's on the scale of 5. I don't know. This would be like a.
Imagine if it
-20.
did, though. That would actually be, like, imagine
Maybe a little lower.
Right, yeah. So you played with the tornado tubes before too?
Yes.
Have you seen our radio sounds?
Yeah, I actually have. Don't you launch them into the atmosphere?
And then you probably have all that stuff too, right?
Yeah, I actually do. I have like everything here.
Hanging up in his room. Like, how many cloud charts do we need, Jackson?
Well, if you flip it around, there's
The tornado, like the motion. Thank you. The real question is, are you storm ready? You better be.
How are you folks?
Good. How are you?
Good. Any questions for us?
No, not really.
So you're getting to see the science from a research perspective, the National Weather Service perspective. Actually went to school. Our AOS building is that big, tall building outside on campus that has the satellites up on the top. And then this is the TV side of things.
Okay.
So our job, our main job, is to be able to communicate the weather and the science and how it works to the public. Severe weather coverage is a biggie for us. National Weather Service around the corner. That's Tim right there, Director of National Weather Service in Milwaukee. We take the warnings that they issue and we have to explain where these storms are going to the public. We actually have a direct connection for that. The mounts are can I show you something? So we also have, so we're doing severe weather coverage a lot. We did a lot this year.
Oh yeah.
They don't get a lot of praise a lot, so we try to do it as much as we can.
Wow.
Average is about 10.
Oh wow. Dang.
Like, we were in our basement a lot this year. For sure.
I wasn't. You guys were.
This is our direct feed to the National Weather Service.
Wow.
There's the folks and managers right around the corner over there. When we're doing the severe weather coverage, I may be looking at our radar tools, which here's our radar tool.
Claiming that a tree and there wasn't any wind, you can be there's forensic meteorologists. I don't know how often they're used a lot, but
I need to go back to the forecasting. I used to make good forecasts about the.
it's dictated by the weather. They can comment and say, hey, this actually happened that night. There's teaching.
Here's our radar tool.
I would say private
everything
storm chasing, and that's really really within, I would say, the last, as I said, 10 years.
Here's our radar tools.
All right.
So we're doing severe weather coverage. We have everything built up with buttons. So here's Dane County. Where are you folks? Are you in Dane County?
Jefferson County, yeah.
Jefferson County. So Jefferson County is just to the east. So I actually probably, if I wanted to quick get a view over Jefferson County areas down towards Walworth, we have all these buttons built. If I want to look and see where are winds moving right now. Now there's not a lot out there today for us to look at, but we have all these pre-built buttons. So if I want to look at our wind tracker, so our wind tracker is not going to show a whole lot today because what this is looking for are particles in the atmosphere, raindrops moving this way or that way.
Avenues.
We can look at, is there any debris that's being lofted into the air? What we'd be looking for is a very tight concentration of a color blue and green. That's usually a sign that debris has been lofted. There are objects of different sizes that are in the that are being lofted into the atmosphere. I have another screen that's set up here. We can also look and see how much rain we have. Now this is over the past 7 days. So notice nothing north and west of Madison. We had a few showers and storms that popped up with the last cold front that came through. And areas from Madison and Point South and East had quite a bit of rain. But this tool right here, if it's configured in a way that makes it very seamless to move around, that allows us to be able to do coverage similar to what we have been doing quite a bit this year. So this is from April 16th as we're doing coverage.
I have a friend down in the Janesville area. I'm always at
the state of Wisconsin.
We were out in that night and I actually got to see the EF2 that happened that night. I said I thought I got it. And I said that. And I'll show you the clip, but I did say that.
Yep, that unprecedented year. We've had a tornado reported in the state of Wisconsin every month of the year. Wow. February.
And now it's February.
History has been made. We have had a tornado in February. Not only it was in the south side of Evansville, actually no, it's more than the west side of Evansville.
So we can really,
this is
I think,
a different day,
show a
April
little bit
16th.
more.
But that tornado was a high NDF too, so we had a tornado in the month of February. And we had a supercell thunderstorm that came down from Sauk County.
They're long days, but
So he's been thinking about being like a meteorologist, but going more towards like the working for the National Weather Service. But I'm like, this is really interesting because you're doing, it's a different point of view, but I mean, you're like are you a meteorologist?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So.
Yep, I'm our chief at Channel 3, and Blaze brought some of our weather textbooks. The same that they we have to do as well. So it's all it's all calculus physics based. So
Oh gosh.
it's a lot of math, a lot of science.
Math.
And I went. My schooling was
But if you're hourly,
in the AOS building, that tall building out there that has the
get a lot of money on those
satellites
if you're working
up on it. I did my undergrad degree and my master's degree in atmospheric and oceanic sciences. My focus was very much on severe weather.
Okay.
Growing up in small town Wisconsin. Oh, guys, do you mind if I quick take a picture? But I want to tell you a little bit more about our background. If anybody wants a live tour of the studio, you want to come see a show done live, just email it. Come on down and we'll have you out.
So excited.
So my school was back here in that building. Blaze was telling folks you come in as an undergraduate, and you have about a good 3 years of your general eds. Gen eds would include chemistry and physics and calculus. 3 semesters of calculus. I took 2 additional math classes on differential equations. Then you, provided you pass, then you get into the school.
Okay.
And then that's when the work really begins. You've already, there was times I'm writing equations across dryers when they move from chalkboards to dryers. Full wall of differential equations. And
That's too much.
Once you've proven you're able to do the hard math, the hard science, if you're dedicated to it, you'll do just fine.
That's what you want to do.
And I was always a bit, I was always good at science. I wasn't the best at math. I was a little nervous about math.
Oh, that's for me too.
Like you.
But when I got into college and then it finally clicked, I actually became one of my favorite things to do derivations and equations. And it's these equations go into weather models.
Okay.
Passionate about weather, so I'm glad that when we retire,
It's cool. You may not have seen the view. I'll show you what that looks like.
It's all weather.
That's one thing that I kind of.
And then you have
College of
then you have
Duke.
2 to 3 years of additional schooling for an undergraduate degree from atmospheric and oceanic sciences, which is all differential calculus. But they want to make sure that you know these equations so that maybe you want to go into research and go into weather modeling or National Weather Service. Our world, we don't use this day to day, but we had to go pay our dues.
Right.
Our day to day is to be able to take information from the National Weather Service. This is a live feed from the National Weather Service. This is actually a day in July where I am showing them.
Wow.
This is a supercell thunderstorm.
I know it's
This is the rain-free base down here, and this is the rain. So you got your updraft. This is drawing warm, humid air into the storm, and it's actually circulating and spinning up and up
that was fun.
and up into the sky. And the downdraft is blowing that heavy rain and hail out ahead of it.
Yes.
Another video of how that looks close up.
okay.
We're picking whether or not we want to go north or south because radar was showing that it was about to split. And now we go north better, but everything went south. That was fun.
That one I was not in this area for, but yeah, that was an intense one.
This is a wall cloud.
Yeah.
You can actually see motion is going this way. But you also have motion that's coming in the other way on the other side of this. This is the tail cloud, so you have warm, humid air being drawn up into the supercell, and then that rotates, spins up into the sky.
and was coming back from Greensboro.
So we can relay this information to the National Weather Service so that if radar is not indicating that there's actually a tornado on the ground, we have confirmation that we do in fact have a supercell thunderstorm with a wall cloud. And from there, that's as good as a storm spotter spot, and we've got a rotating storm. They may change the which is what occurred in this case. We're adding more sky cams to our network as well.
Yes.
We've got Platteville, we have Dodgeville, we have Janesville, we have our own cameras here in Madison.
Nice.
This is amazing. Cams right now.
No, I like that one.
Capital.
Oh, there's the Capitol.
There's Dodgeville.
Right now?
Yep, that's Dodgeville.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
cool. See a car. Sick.
Here's Platteville. That's the camera that we were looking at, a wall cloud. We're adding Wisconsin Dells. We're adding Prairie du Chien. That gives us a strategic advantage. We have to be very quick with your knowledge of the system because storms are changing all the time. So we have to know our weather system very well. And this is our severe weather part of our overall system. So we have a sky cam here in Dodgeville, we have one in Platteville, we have several in Dane County, we're adding one in Janesville, one in Wisconsin Dells, and one in Prairie du Chien. So having these sky cams, particularly over southwestern Wisconsin, gives us an advantage over, we have our friends at Channel 15 and 27 as well, but we'll have a sky cam network that will allow us to see the storms that are eventually going to move into Dane County, where we have our greatest population.
Wow.
Not to say our friends out in southwest Wisconsin, and I grew up in Arena, which is right about here, that there's less folks out there, but a lot of times the storms out here are getting going, and then those are the storms that move into the rest of the area. Skycam's an incredibly powerful tool in showing the weather. We can show the radar, and it's not uncommon. Okay, there's a storm out there.
Yeah.
You got an image of a tornado. People will pay attention.
It's interesting.
Questions? Do you have any questions?
We're coming up to the 11-year originally looking at the
Got into weather.
Take a pen. Remember this? When I had that big
We'll have to look some.
Let's take a pencil. Jamie, you want a pencil for school?
to identify where
There you go, Mom. Oh, I'm not ready.
to get in.
Or could I grab a sticker?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, that's what they're there for.
There you go, Mom. You gotta grab this.
Sticker. These are little tattoos.
Oh.
Now, I mean, if you're really into reading, we have bookmarks right here. These are bookmarkers. We have one of those too. As long as you're into reading. Yeah, you can take one of those. Now, if you think you're going to like to continue to study weather, and you might be a storm spotter, then take one of those. Absolutely. Yep. Now this you'll want to keep around. You don't lose it. You want to keep around for about 5-6 years because this is applicable for years to come.
Okay.
It's our spotter guide. But what I'm saying is you might want to go to some of them. Where do you live? Jefferson, okay. We do spotter talks every early spring.
We went
all
to
about,
them.
have you been there?
Yeah, we've been to a
Well, then I
couple.
don't need to tell you. So, yeah,
We have to go
yeah,
every year. I'm like, it's the same.
Oh, really?
He makes me go every year.
You don't need to, but yeah, if you want to,
He just likes it.
yeah. So you know how it goes. Then I don't need to say anything more. Yeah, well, wonderful. We're glad you love it. Yep. Yeah, take a bookmark. Yeah, you can take. Yep. That's how to reach us. You can email us.
I think I need another store. I think I need another store cloud.
Okay. It's got a whole wall of storm cloud. Everywhere we go. We gotta.
Sometimes my cats chew.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you. Well, you're very welcome. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, thank you.
Glad you enjoy weather a lot. Yeah. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend. All right. Bye-bye.
Anyways, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you like it?
That was pretty cool. A 10. I'd say a 10. What do you think, Jamie? We got 2 experiments.
Hey, hold on. Yeah. Now we
What do you
are-
think, Jamie? What scale?
I would say like an 8, just because.
Oh, you're not as much into weather, right?
So I think, guys, because that was pretty fun. We got to see Tim. We got to make him say our saying, which was pretty cool. I think I was easily a 10. We got to meet a lot of people. I got to ask a few questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Jack Roller signing out. Remember to chase NATOs.
Chase NATOs.